Welcome to another Straight Up Tuesday tip. I'm 𝗤𝘃𝗃𝗀𝘃. With me as always is Mark Ainley. With us for, I don't know, the upteenth time, we have the pride of Mount Zion, Eric Workman from 𝗓𝘂𝗏 Financial. Eric, welcome back.
Thanks, boys. Good to be back.
You didn't see that pride of Mount Zion coming on, did you?
I love it. I did not. I did not see the pride of Mount Zion coming through. No, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Eric, we've had you on multiple times. For those, the first time we had you on, I had to go look it up. Episode 19, so 200-something episodes ago. And you have always been just a plethora of knowledge for our listeners. Today, everyone's complaining that they can't get deals done. It's hard out there. And we all agree that, yes, it is hard out there, but there are still transactions happening. Give us your thoughts. Talk to us a little about this topic, because you had some interesting things to share with us off camera.
Well, like, not only are there still transactions happening, but just my team this month will close 33 loans this month, and we have
just the Workman team, not even 𝗓𝘂𝗏. That's just you guys.
Just the Workman team will close 33 loans this month, and the Workman team has signed up. We're sitting at 25 at the moment. Sorry, I just kind of keep looking at my computer screen here. We're sitting at 25 for the moment, and we'll end the month with another 30, maybe 33, just new loans signed here in July. So, people ask me how business is. Well, last week at the Northwest Side Building Coalition, their summer event, I got asked a couple different times, how's business? I said, business is great. And people are shocked. Like, how can that be? Interest rates are high and, there's no inventory. And, well, sure, rates are higher and it might feel to some like there's no inventory, but for the professional investor out there are always deals to be made and always deals to be had. So I'm seeing fewer and fewer part-timers getting deals done, and I'm seeing fewer and fewer new investors come across, but the pros are out there scooping it up.
Well, Eric, you're getting a lot of deals done. That's awesome, and you have a wide bandwidth of different clients, professional real estate investors. Like, what are they doing to find these deals, to get these deals to the finish line that a lot of other people that might be saying what you were saying before are feeling like there's nothing to be had out there?
They are the hardest workers in the room, and right now they're working harder than they're working hard. I think most of them would say they're working harder than they've ever worked. So one of my most active and top clients, he's paid off 25 loans with us over the last handful of years. I just talked to him the other day, and he had been on 12 different showings that day, and he thought one might work. And he had another 10 or 11 set up for the next day. So, like, you guys are pros. When you take the time to look at and analyze a deal and say, this might work, and then set up a showing, get with your broker, whoever it is that's going out and walking the property with you, and then you drive to the property, you spend the time walking through it, you spend the time looking at the comps that you had pulled up for it, you analyze the deal, how many hours have you put into that one opportunity at that point?
Yeah, I don't care how efficient you are, you're still putting a handful of hours in there. Even if you have people helping you.
Yeah, and that was for 12, and he thought one might work. And then the next day he had another 10 or 11 set up. And, when you add all of that up, that might be 50 or 60 hours worth of work that's going into looking at 20, 25 opportunities. And maybe one will work, maybe two will work, maybe none. But that's what it's taking right now to really come across deals that work. And when he was telling me that story, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but there's this Kobe Bryant interview where he was talking about his work ethic and how much time that he puts in. And when he was younger, he he kind of recognized that the people that he was playing against, they would practice like 1.5 hours twice a week with their team, right? So they practice 3 hours a week. And he started to do the math and he said, gosh, if I practice 3 hours a day, that's 20 hours a week. And then he extrapolated it out and said, well, if they're practicing 3 hours a week, 50 weeks in a year, that's 150 hours. If I practice 20 hours a week, I got to do it for 8 weeks. So in 2 months, I can put in more work than my competition is putting in a year. And then if I continue at that level and at that pace, I will so far outpace these guys that no matter how talented they are, they can't be beat, right? There's always a level of effort and a level of work that can go into any craft. And it reminded me of that whenever this particular gentleman was, yeah, hey, interest rates are a little higher than he'd like to be. Yeah, hey, there's less easy inventory to find, but he's putting in 40 hours a week looking at and analyzing deals to find the next one. And that's what you have to do, right? You have to put in the effort, you have to put in the work. And I would say a lot of part-timers, guys with other jobs or, full-time W-2s and other aspects, there's only so many hours in the day, there's family needs, family pulls, those types of things. They're not putting in the time to find the opportunities, but the pros are.
Well, anybody that's gotten into this business in the last 10 years has never had to, they've never felt that what I need to do to work hard moment yet, because they've always had the winds at their backs. It's funny. I was talking to someone the other day. I just got back from a GoAbundance webinar. Him and a couple other people kept referencing to like the good old days in 2018. Like they're like that new to the industry that they're so far removed from like what a real estate cycle looks like, or what tougher times, or the times when you now have to outpace your competition, like you were explaining.
Yeah, I think if I go backwards, really anybody who's 36 or younger the market's only ever gone up and to the right. Interest rates have gone down, values have gone up, and it's covered up. You have a lot of people who have, never lost money on a deal. And goodness, I've bought, renovated, and sold probably 1,000 properties in my career myself, and I lost money on the first one I ever did. And you got guys out there that have said, that never have. And that day's probably coming, right? But the truth of the matter is, there are always deals to be done. There is always inventory to be made. Here, I got another great example. Mutual contact of ours. This gentleman is a very active guy. He's probably done 11 or 12 with me in the last 18 months. 4-unit off-market property in Berwyn. The seller gave him a 1-hour window 48 hours ago. And he called us and was like, all right, how are we going to do this? And so we got the appraisal scheduled for that time, et cetera. And so he did his pre-contract inspection. He did the walk with his GC, and the appraiser all got through there in 1 hour because he was willing to do it. He pulled his network together and said, let's get this thing done. Like, I've got this 1 hour for this awesome opportunity. It's a great, great property. And, he's, number one, he worked hard enough to find the opportunity. And then number two, he pulled his network together to pull off this threading of the needle that was needed in order to get through it.
What advice would you give somebody that, we just said, go view 20 buildings and beat your competition? Someone's probably out there thinking like, all right, well, how do we even find 20 buildings? Like someone's
going to drive their broker crazy right now.
Yeah. It's like, what things should those people doing, or what are your clients doing to get, starting from the start here? How do they get aggressive fast?
You mean like a new person?
New person, or a guy that just his deal's dried up right now and he's just wondering how can I ever get to the point of out there 2021 properties in a 2-day span?
Well, let me handle the experienced person with a relatively dry pipeline first. I think if I were that person, I would be networking like crazy with wholesalers and brokers and other investors, and I would get hyper focused on one, maybe two specific areas of either Chicagoland or the city, and go very deep in those areas. I wouldn't try to be a generalist and shotgun it. I would network like crazy in an area that I knew that I could execute well in, and try to go a mile deep in that particular area. As an experienced person, you should be able to network with other brokers and wholesalers and people with access to deals, and have a resume behind you showing, I've done this level of properties, I can close, I'm able to execute, right? Because if you're a broker or wholesaler out there and you have deals and you know how rare good deals are, you have no interest in showing them to an inexperienced person or someone who you think is not going to be able to execute and get it closed. Because there's a line of pros behind you who are 100% going to be able to execute. So if you're an experienced person and your opportunities have dried up, like, one, make sure you position yourself as someone who can execute and close on a deal. And two, pick a specific area, maybe two, network like crazy within them and get as deep into those areas as you can.
I was going to point that we'll put in the show notes. There's a couple episodes where you've been on here and you've actually gone in depth of what you have to do to look experienced. So we'll point back to those shows too.
Sure. Yeah, it's not just me. It's any lender of size in our space who operates in Chicagoland has a relatively similar experience hurdles to clear when it comes to lending these days.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just extrapolating everything you just laid out, Eric, it's quite simply, you ask the question, all right, the problem is inventory. What are the potential solutions, right? And you can sit there and say there's the effort piece of it, which, the harder you work, the luckier you get. We've all experienced that in some form of our life. And then there's the who, not how of, okay, who can take me to this next level? If I don't know what I'm doing, or if haven't built up the reputation, who is a broker I can work with? Who's an investor I can partner with? Do I have capital? Do I have time? Do I have knowledge of a certain area? Like, figure out what that is and then shout it from the mountaintops, right? Be at every event, be at every sort of whatever it may be where these people are. This isn't naturally just going to happen. Everyone's sitting there saying like, oh, I'll wait, I'll just keep clicking on Redfin. Nothing's magically going to change. You need to change the actions you are taking right now to get that solution. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's like going to the gym. You don't go for a week and then get ripped. Like it's going to happen 6 months, 18 months, whatever. Like, you got to put in those reps. And like, we see that in all other forms of our life, but for whatever reason, when it's something like real estate, everyone thinks it's a magic pill, and then we don't get the pill and we're like, this sucks.
The market's bad. Yeah.
Yes, but at other points of our life, we see that, and we understand like, oh yeah, I can't go to the gym for a week, or I need a trainer, I need to do this, and like, I need to put in these reps every time. It's like so obvious, but for whatever reason, like, we don't see that in this industry, so that's my public service announcement.
Yeah. There's a reason why the attrition rate in real estate investing and restaurants is relatively similar, right? A lot of people who've opened one restaurant, right? It's like, I think the failure rate's close to 90%. There are a lot of people who have owned a rental or have tried to do a flip, or who, fixed up their house and then, sold it and tried to do it again. And then for whatever reason, have gotten out of it. And some of it is their business is hard. Some of it is, managing tenants can be a thankless job. But a lot of it, I think, has to do with patience and effort. And, real estate is a game that takes a very long time to get good at. I don't think you ever master it. And you just have to constantly be grinding at it. I mean, look how good Mark looks these days, right? No sugar, nothing that you couldn't eat in 1900, right? But if he just got to this point and then tomorrow started eating cupcakes, like it would go sideways. This is like a dedicated daily like lifestyle routine, and becoming a great real estate investor and staying a great real estate investor takes the same thing.
Yeah, love it. Great spot to wrap here.
All right. Awesome. Great messages from both of you guys. All right. So today's Chicago fact here, you know, we're going to play for 𝗦𝘃𝗲𝗀𝘁 is the person we're going to play for. And it is sponsored by, of course, the Workman team at 𝗦𝘃𝗶𝗵𝗁 Financial. So Craig, if myself or Eric get this question right, you'll get a $50 gift card brought to you by Eric Workman team at 𝗦𝘃𝗶𝗵𝗁.
All right. So our guest today is an avid golfer. So we're going to do a golf question. So the 50 states were all ranked in order of which state had the most golf courses. Surprisingly, Illinois was 7th. I thought that was pretty high on the list, which is good for us. The question is,
an answer.
Yeah, how many golf courses are there in the state of Illinois? And your options are 185, 415, 695, or 955. Mark, first shot at it. 185, 415, 695, 955.
Does it include private courses?
I believe so.
Okay.
There's no distinction on my my in-depth internet research that took 3 seconds.
Does that include 3 pars? Yeah, I would say I want to say 415, but I'm going to go with 695.
Okay. Eric, do you want to take a shot?
I was also going to say 695. However, in order to
double up the chances here.
Or yeah, we got to double up the chances here. I think I mean 995 just sounds so high.
I'm going to be pissed if it's 185 because you just totally threw us off.
It's not 180. It's definitely not 185. There's 185 golf courses around Chicago.
Yeah, I would think so.
140 of them.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with 415 just to give us a.
Gentlemen, you are good at this. 695.
All right, cool, awesome. Ooh. All right, good.
Can we? Good. How about this? Let's double up the gift card if I get this right. Is the state with the most amount of golf courses South Carolina?
Oh man, I got to go back to my little internet research. I believe it was Florida, but I'll get back to you on that. All right. I do know Alaska was the least. Alaska has 23 golf courses.
All right.
That makes California 1,052. That is the answer.
Oh, so that's number 1. All right. Craig, you're close to getting a $100 gift card, but you still got a $50 gift card coming to you thanks to our
Craig.
Yeah, $50, and we'll send you a shirt too, maybe, and then brought to you by 𝗦𝘃𝗶𝗵𝗁. So thanks, Eric, for sponsoring that, and man, thanks for coming on. Tom, thanks as always. Eric, thank you for coming back and continue to come back. Listeners, we have Build Your Team on there. We have Eric as an awesome commercial lender. We have multiple different attorneys. We have multiple different trades. We have home inspectors. This is the place to go to build your team for people that have proven to work well with real estate investors that you don't have to test, you just have to hire, and they'll be there and they'll help you on your journey. So check out Build Your Team at straightupchicagoinvestor.com. Tom, thank you. Eric, thank you. Listeners, we'll see you Thursday.
Thanks all.
See you guys.